Hello and welcome to the VatMat. Today we are going to be comparing the top 7 cordless vacuums that are under £250 to find out which one is the best for your needs in your home. Today we're going to be testing the Shark Duo Clean, the Vax Blade 2, the Gtech Pro, the Swan Power Plush, the Henry Cordless, the Hoover H and the Dyson V7 to find out which one is the best. We've composed 14 different tests to find out which one is the best. We've got the suction test, the carpet pickup and hard floor pickup test, the crevice and edge pickup test, the weight test, the filtration test, and how heavy the machine is in your hand while you're using it. The tools to see which one has the best value for money in terms of handheld tools, the battery, the noise, bin size, and the swivel steering on it to see which one's easiest to manoeuvre. And we've also got to see how long it takes to recharge, the recharge time. So you don't have to be waiting around all day for that vacuum to recharge so you can get that last little speck of dust.
Honey.
On carpet, the Dyson V7 blew away the competition with its amazing digital motor. The performance was unrivaled on everything and it deep cleaned the best of all, so it got a 9. It was followed by the Gtech Pro and Swan Power Plush, which both got very respectable 7.5. Then it was the Vax Blade. Although this was good on the smaller particles, it did really struggle with the bigger particles. Then it was the Shark Duo Clean that tended to mat around more of the hair than it did pick it up, and at the end dropped a lot out. Then we had the Henry Cordless at getting 4 points, which performed rather disappointingly, but got up most of the big particles. And last of all was the Hoover H that pushed most of the dirt around and really struggled. On hard floor, the Swan Power Plush blew away the competition. It was closely followed by the Gtech Pro. Both of these picked up everything in their path and didn't scatter. After this, we had the Dyson V7 that picked up most of the small particles like the oats and lentils, but struggled with the Cheerios like the larger particles. Then we had the Shark Duo Clean and Vax Blade, which both picked up a few bits, but then they fell out soon afterwards. And then in last place we had the Hoover H and the Henry Cordless, which just tended to push around the dirt, and everything that was sucked up just fell straight back out. The crevice pickup test really showed the vacuum's airflow. In the leading places were the Dyson and Gtech. With their brilliant airflow, they both cleaned up the majority of the sand from the crevices. They were followed by the Swan Power Plush. That was followed by the Vax Blade. And the Shark Duo Clean, Henry Cordless and Hoover H came in the disappointing last places, mirroring their poor airflow and suction results. On the edge pickup test, the Dyson V7 again blew away the competition. It was, however, closely followed by the Gtech Pro, which was then followed by the Swan Power Plush. Then the Shark Duo Clean, and in last place was the Hoover H with the Henry Cordless and Vax Blade, which pushed most of the dirt right into the edges and made it even harder to remove. When choosing a cordless vacuum, weight is a major factor. A lot of cordless machines are chosen to be lighter, and this makes them suitable for elderly people or disabled. However, some of these cordless vacuums we've tried were actually heavier than their mains counterparts. So, for the weight, in last place we had the Shark Duo Clean and Vax Blade, which were both around 4 kilograms. That's heavier than some mains vacuums. In first place we had the Dyson V7, the Hoover H and the Swan Power Plush all came closely behind it. The Gtech Pro is also a great option for weight as it is quite light. However, the Henry Cordless is very heavy, but you don't feel most of this weight because it's being pulled behind you. However, its big capacity made it get even heavier as it filled, and you couldn't just empty it easily. As the majority of the machines have their weight in hand, this means you'll be carrying it for the whole time you're cleaning, so it does need to be light. With our lightest machine, the Henry Cordless, despite it being the heaviest in the weight test, because you only carry the tube, it's actually the lightest. Then it was the Gtech Pro, which was very light and for most people can be carried easily. We also had great results off the Dyson V7 in the Hoover H and the Hoover H. However, the Shark Duo Clean and Vax Blade were very heavy in the hand due to their heavy motors and big batteries. This made them very uncomfortable in use and quite tiring on the wrist. For tools, the Gtech Pro won because it has a motorised stir tool which is really good at deep cleaning stairs, sofas and hard to reach areas, as well as a nice soft dusting brush and a long crevice tool, ideal for them nooks and crannies. However, the Dyson V7 had a great range of attachments, including a dusting brush, non-motorised upholstery tool and a nice long crevice tool with dusting brush on the end. This was ideal for things like the car, stairs and the sofa, so this came very closely behind it. Our loser for the tools was the Vax Blade, as it had just a small crevice tool which wasn't much use and a dusting brush. Nothing for stairs or deep cleaning above the floor like sofas and things, and we found using the main head was very clunky and also unhygienic from going to floors to beds and stairs where you don't know where the nozzle's been. The Shark did quite well as it had a nice upholstery tool, a smallish crevice tool and a dusting brush. The Henry did also quite well as it came with a nice set of attachments, however they weren't motorised. The Swan did okay, however we would like to have seen a better upholstery tool. As battery life is very hard to measure nowadays, as machines have so many different settings, we tested them all in their low suction setting with the brush roll on. This is the setting that's usually adequate to clean carpets and hard floor. So, what machine has the best battery? The Gtech absolutely stole the competition with a 35-minute runtime, which is pretty impressive. It was closely followed by the Vax Blade and Dyson V7. Both of these got around 25 minutes, which is very impressive. The Henry Cordless came with the Swan Power Plush in third place, getting around 18 to 20 minutes. And in our last place was the Hoover H and the Shark Duo Clean. The Shark Duo Clean just got 14.43 minutes out of its 25 claim minutes, which was quite disappointing. When you're buying a vacuum, the noise should play a huge part in what you buy, as when you're using it, you want it to be comfortable around using it and not have it where you need to wear earphones or ear defenders, and you just can't try this in the shop. So we tested them out to see which one's the loudest. In first place was Henry Cordless. It was closely followed by, again, the Gtech Pro and the Dyson V7. The loudest on test was the Shark Duo Clean at 92 decibels. That's almost loud enough where you need to wear protection. The Swan Power Plush was quite quiet too, and so was the Hoover H. However, the Vax Blade was quite loud too. The bin size plays a major role in choosing a vacuum. After all, you don't want to be running to the bin every couple of minutes to empty it. So we've put together the best and worst for bin size and come up with some great numbers. The Henry Cordless has the biggest bin capacity of 6 litres. It's followed by the Gtech Pro and the Hoover H, which are both around 0.6 litres. Then is the Vax Blade and Dyson V7 around 0.55 litres. And last of all was the Shark Duo Clean around 0.3 litres. So you're going to be taking a fair few trips to the bin if it can actually pick anything up. With modern vacuums, you can get unbelievable manoeuvrability to be able to get under things. With the Shark's Ion Flex, meaning it was quite easy to get under things, it scored a 5 in this test. However, the nozzle would lift if you twisted it too sharp. So, our actual winner for this test was the Swan Power Plush and Dyson V7, as both of them turned 90 degrees without lifting the nozzle and went flat to the floor. The Gtech Pro was closely behind with the Hoover H. The Henry Cordless was good, however the nozzle did lift and only went about 65 degrees before it lifted off the floor. The Vax Blade was also good, but the head did lift off the floor. When the battery of a vacuum is drained, it can take a long time to recharge, up to 4 hours. But these numbers were pretty similar to each other actually. The Swan Power Plush was in the lead with its 3-hour quick charge time. But it was closely followed by the Henry Cordless, the Shark Duo Clean and Dyson V7. But in last place was the Gtech Pro with Hoover H and Vax Blade with just a 4-hour recharge time, which took them quite a long time for the runtime you got. tests have been completed and the scores are now in. We've calculated which machine is the best, and then we have 2 winners for this one. If you've got mainly carpets and pets in your home, we recommend the Dyson V7. This is the king of carpet cleaning. It also did amazing at our crevice pickup test, but its pickup of big particles such as Cheerios wasn't great. However, the handy tools were really great at picking up these Cheerios, so this was definitely a good choice and one to be considered for your future purchase. And if you've got mainly hard floors and you want a good, reliable vacuum with amazing runtime, we recommend the Gtech Pro. This machine performed amazing on hard floor, picking up everything in its path, and did an above average job on carpet cleaning. The massive bin capacity was fabulous to help stop trips to the bin being frequent, and the runtime was amazing. This meant we could clean the whole house about twice before we needed to recharge. So top marks for the Gtech Pro. Both of these cordless vacuums are a great choice if you're looking for one. We'd highly recommend them both, and I've put links in the description to both of these machines on where's best to find them and the cheapest. We hope you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you make your mind up on what cordless vacuum cleaner to buy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you know anyone else who's looking for a cordless vacuum cleaner, share this video with them. It might just help them make the right choice and get the great vacuum. See you next week for another episode of the Vat Mat. Cracking.
There we go. That was a lot of film.
Yeah.